How do we make a Danganronpa main theme go from this to this? I'm Corey, or Everything Fantasy, and today we're going to be using a real fangan in the making, Danganronpa False Hope, to demonstrate how to make a Danganronpa main theme. You might have seen the video a while ago that I mentioned if you have a Danganronpa fan project, send it across and let's try making something for a video like this. And today we're going for something jazzy. Danganronpa False Hope is set in an abandoned film studio. Now that's going to be the most important thing for this, I think. So we need to create something that helps to set that context really, really well. Now, in terms of what they're looking for in terms of the main theme itself, we need something upbeat, elements of jazz as well, something which you can groove to, but also takes into account the fact that this is supposed to be a serious killing game. And I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just create some sort of drum beat. I've immediately increased the tempo to 135. I just think it's going to be a little better for what I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to make things a little bit easier for myself later on. The way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to make the track in G minor. The reason being is because I know the Danganronpa vocals are also in G minor. And I don't really want to come across problems later on. I could change it and maybe pitch shift the vocals in the Danganronpa original main theme, the Bulgarian vocals, which sound like this. But I'm just gonna not cause myself the problem in advance. I think it would be a good idea to add some strings right at the beginning. First of all, they sound like films to me. So here's this. Because I think that's going to, one, help to establish that high-profile film studio setting, but also at the same time, not sound too carefree and actually have this element of being, okay, this is a serious killing game, we've got something going on here. Danganronpa main themes have a tendency to, at least for the first and second games, they have that kind of really gradual build-up. It almost feels nostalgic listening back to it. I want something that's actually quite impactful, that's like, oh my god, okay, this is something new, before then coming back into those familiar Danganronpa motifs. Cool, that kind of works, I think. Time to add some guitar. Okay, and now we're gonna make this more organized. So far, there's some interesting things going on mix-wise, but I like to sometimes add reverb quite early on, just so I can get a sense of how the whole thing's coming together. So to do this, I'm going to first of all group the strings together, enter a stereo track called equals strings, and I got to make sure that all of them are going to that track. And then I'm going to send all the strings to reverb, I really like clear chamber, it just sounds so good to me. And then I'm going to filter the reverb, just remove some highs and lows since they do not need to be reverberated at all really. So I'm just going to do like a little bit of just random improvisation over the top of that intro on piano. I feel like it could just add this nice color to it that I really want. So let's see what happens. By the way, since I get the question a lot, I am open to commissions, so just feel free to reach out, whether it's via Discord or email, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I feel like some congas or something like that could actually work really well here. To transition into the main Danganronpa section, I kind of want the sound of like a camera shutter or something. Now, in order to do that, I might as well just use the camera. So, this is an interesting idea. So I ended up adding a bunch of different effects to this to make it sound a bit more epic, a bit more dynamic and brighter. I used a cloner, which is a stock Cubase plugin which allows you to increase the stereo width by almost adding a duplicate version of the same sound, compression to control the dynamics, a transient shaper, in particular the native instrument one, to increase the attack of the overall sound, to make it sound a bit snappier, some EQ to smooth out the sound. I also went on to then re-record it and add the beeping sound of the camera, just to make sure it sounds as much like a camera as possible to really add to that film studio setting. So now I'm going to add another electric piano part, and this is going to start to transition into the next section, that kind of, the main Danganronpa motif, you know, the one that goes da 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 da, that bit. I want to be a bit more unpredictable, like, oh, okay. I'm vibing to this, but at the same time, like, I feel quite uncomfortable right now. Oh, cool. That's alright, that's quite nice. But then oh, we have that half diminished chord that makes it sound a bit more like, what's going on? Let's just try doing something on piano as I normally do and just seeing what happens. Quite like that. It has this sort of mysterious vibe to it. I like the fact that it's an abandoned film studio. I like the fact that it's not too predictable. It has this sense of like, oh, there's a bit of mystery going on here. So I want to try something completely new in a sense. I feel like I want to differ a lot from the original Danganronpa main theme. And to do that, I'm going to completely change the melody and go for something completely brand new. and then start to bring in elements of the original main theme. So I'm thinking, I love the kind of mysteriousness to it. It sounds quite like sophisticated, like you know what to expect in a sense, but at the same time, you don't. We are now back on a different day. The next thing I'm going to do is I just want to add a little bit of variation in the bass part. I think it's a bit too stagnant at the moment. I'm going to add that Danganronpa riff. For this next section, I want something quite climactic almost, like a bit of a build up again. I think it's gonna sound something like something along those lines. Obviously, me singing it out loud doesn't make any sense, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so we've got some really interesting stuff going on, I think. We have a little bit of a build-up going on, and I want that to act as the transition section. Now, you might be familiar with the Danganronpa vocals, the ones that go da 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 da. I'm so tempted to add that in here. I'm not 100% sure if I want to add it in yet. You know what? I did that accidentally. I just played some strings on top of that, but I actually really like how it sounds. I really like that. There are a couple of things that I probably will consider changing later on, but as an idea, I like it a lot. Now this just leaves the final section. I'll be honest, it's my favourite section of the entire piece, and it reuses a lot of the ideas from the first section after the intro. But instead of walking you through it, because a lot of it is adjusting things, enhancing things, adding small changes here and there, I think it's best to just play you the full track from start to finish. Nah, not really. You gotta wait till next week for that. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed creating that, I really mean that. It was such a fun track to be a part of and to work on. Definitely check the description for all the details of Danganronpa False Hope. Special thanks to the creators of the fangan as well for all their work on the project, but also for letting me be a part of creating the main theme.